Welcome, dear students, for the new session. I have already discussed about database schema or schema representation, right? In the entity relationship model, I have told many a times that when there are several relations in a domain, for example, employee, department, project, so these are the different relations. So there exists a relationship between these relations or entities, right? So in today's session, let us understand the meaning of relational database and relational database schema. Well, with the definition, a relational database usually contains many relations. So we know the meaning of relation. Example is student, employee, department, project. These are the relation names. So a relational database means what? When there are collection of relations, when it actually a database consisting many relation. For example, in the company database, we have how many relation? Employee, department, project, dependent. These were the relations, right? So a relation database means what? Which contains many relations with tuples in relations that are related in various ways. So there exist many tuples, there exist many rows of information, like we are having employee row of information, department row information. There are many row of information in the project relation, dependent relation. We have many row of data, right? And all these row of datas or the tuples, each, from a relation, from one relation to another, there is a relation between the tuples. Like for example, an employee working in accounts department, there is a relation between a particular person with employee ID something like E101. If E101 is an employee ID and he is working in accounts department A1. Okay, so the tuple, the row with employee ID E101 is working in which department? Department A1, accounts department. So in one relation, one of the tuple is having or is in relation with another tuple in another relation. Which is that another tuple? That is the department number A2. Are you all understanding? So that is what? With tuples and relations. Tuples are in relation which are related in one or the other way. Okay. A relational database schema means what? It is represented in capital S. It is a set of relation schema. S is equal to R1, R2, Rm. That is, it could be R1 could be employee relation, R2 could be department relation, like that, Rm some project relation, like that, n number of relations in a database, in a company database. Are you all understanding? So the schema is represented as what? Relation schema. S is equal to R1, R2, like that, and how much ever the relation exists in that database. Okay, and a set of integrity constraints IC. So this is what we are now learning, students. In this particular class, we will be understanding what is the meaning of integrity constraint. Integrity means what? Like for example, we all know the general meaning of a integration. We should be integrated to each other. It means what? There should be a bond, there should be a good relation existing between the which one? People around us. Integration, right? So in a company database, if there exists several relation like employee, department, then there is a integration between relationship between which one? Employee and department. Employee is working in a department and department is employing. Department is consisting few number of employees from the employee relation. Are you all understanding? So there is a integration between those two relation. What are the constraints? When any two relations are in relationship, so what are the restrictions? What are the what conditions? Okay, that is what we actually mean by the term integrity constraints. Okay, so in this rest of the discussion, we will be concentrating more on integrity constraints. Okay, so a relational database state DB of S, relational database state of S is a set of relation states. Okay, so we told that from the tuples of one relation will be having a relationship between the other tuples in another relation. So at any moment, at any one state, for example, as I just now told you, employee with ID 101 is working in accounts department. This is a current state in the database. He is working in accounts department. That is a current state, database state. So how it is represented, the relational database state DB is equal to R1, R2 till Rm. That is, when there is a relation from employee table to department table, from employee relation to department relation, when there is certain instance relationship, that is employee 101 E101 is working in which department? A1 department, accounts department. So that relation is what is represented by R1, R2, Rm, like that. Okay, such that each Ri is a state of which one? Capital R of I, and such that Ri relation states satisfy the integrity constraint specified in the integrity constraint. So how will I say that employee 101 is working in department A1? How will I tell that it is a current state in the database? I can say that only when the restrictions or the conditions which are defined in the which one integrity constraints are satisfied. For example, each employee should work in exactly one department, and department value A1, what we are telling, it should exist. Yes or no? I can't simply tell some department number. There should exist such department. Accounts department should exist. A1 is a department number that is existing. So these are what the valid values and the valid relationship that is found from employee to department. So what is this validity I am speaking? That correctness, all these rules will be what mentioned in the integrity constraints, and if those rules are matched, if it is followed between any two relations, then we can tell that they are satisfying the which one integrity constraints mentioned in the which one I see. Okay, so do not worry if you are finding it difficult. I'll make you understand with the examples in the forthcoming slides. Okay, so figure 3.5 shows a relational database schema that we call company equal to employee, department, department locations, project, works on, dependent. So just now I told here, just check out here students, S is equal to R1, R2, Rm. So S is what? A company database I told, right? So see the example for S here. Instead of S, we are writing company database. So in the company database, there are many relations. So all the relations are represented in capital letters R1, R2. So in the company database, which are the relation? Employee relation, department, department location, project, works on, department. I hope you all remember this. These are the entity names, right? Yes, all these are what? The entity names. Yes. So these are the relations. The underlined attributes represent primary key. So whichever the attributes which are underlined, we know that those are considered to be as what? The key attribute in that relation, right? Fine. Now just check out here. You will be understanding correctly in this example. Schema diagram for the company relational database schema. So just check out here students. Initially we have discussed what is the schema diagram, right? What is a schema diagram? Observe here in the employee, a first name, middle initial, sorry, last name, SSN, birth date, address, sex, salary, super SSN. So till here, from first name to super SSN, these are the attributes of which one? Employee, and we call this as what? The schema of which one? Employee. But observe the last column. attribute information. What you are finding? DNO, department number. What is this? See here, which one is underlined here, students, in this particular schema? SSN is underlined. SSN is underlined means SSN is a primary key of which relation? Employee relation. So what is this DNO? Department number is a, just check out here, department number in the department relation. Department here, what are in the schema? Department name, department number, manager SSN, manager start date. So department number is underlined. It means it is a primary key of which relation? Department. So just check out here. Relational database schema. The diagram is labeled as what? Relational database schema. Here we are having a relation between employee and department. How will I say that there is a relation between employee and department? Because in the employee schema, we are telling the employee is working in which department by introducing or by adding which column, which attribute? Department number. Are you all understanding? So observe here, in department number, when it is found in employee, department number is a primary key of which relation? Department relation. But here in the employee relation, the primary key is which one? The employee SSN. Are you all understanding? So in the employee relation, by adding the department number attribute, we are telling that there is a relation between employee and which one? The department relation. Are you all understanding? So a particular employee is working in which department? So that department is referenced with the help of a number. And this department number, what reference we are taking, it should be, or DNO, the value what we choose from other relation. Here we have chosen DNO from department relation. So why we have chosen department number? Because it is a primary key of which one? Department relation. That value itself we have to choose to show the relation. You can't choose which one? Department name here instead of department number, because department name is not considered as a primary key. Even though department name is unique, it is a unique value, unique key, but still we had decided which one? Department number to be as a primary key. So that department number primary key itself has to be taken in the employee relation to show the relation or to represent the relation between employee and department. Okay. Now coming to the department location, just check out here. What are the information you are finding? Department number and department location. So in the system analysis, when the user was the database designers were collecting the data from the users, when they were collecting the data requirements, they understood that a department can be placed in different location. For example, accounts department may be placed in different locations. It is not compulsory that it should be present in one location. It may be present in any number of locations. The same accounts department or the same sales department may be present at different location. So this was a data what they had collected. So they have chosen department location as one of the relation which is going to tell us the location, department number and department location. Just check out here, both are underlined. Both are underlined means what? Here the location, department number is what? The unique value from the department, and department location. For example, if there is something like three accounts department, A1 is a department number. A1 is present in two places. Let us take as place 1, place 2. Okay, like floor 1, floor 2. Like that, simple example. It could be some city names here or some place names. Here I'm simply taking as what? Floor 1 and floor 2. Okay, so department number A1, floor 1. Department number A1, accounts department only, present in floor 2, like this. Okay, so that is how they are showing the relation with which one? Department relation and department location, because in the department number is primary key and they have taken primary key of department in the department location to show that there is a relation between department location and department. between them. Is that clear? So this is what the relational database schema. Then let us consider project. So what was that? A department will be controlling different projects, right? A department will be controlling different projects. So there is a relation between department and project relation. So in the project we are finding project name, project number, project location and department number. So why the department number? So they are telling this particular, I mean the project informations are unique. All the projects will be have given with unique project number and project name. So what is given here is they are telling this project is handled by which particular department, that is shown with the help of which attribute, the department number. By adding this department number column attribute, they are giving the relation database schema with which one, project, between project and department. Okay, so dnum here, p number is a primary key of project, whereas dnum is a primary key of which one, department relation. We are using the department primary key information to show the relation between project and department. Okay, fine. Works on. So works on means what? Employee is working on a particular project, right? So yes, now just check out here which are the information. ESSN. ESSN means what? That is employee primary key. Which is the employee primary key here? SSN. Yes. So we have taken SSN, employee SSN here. We have renamed it as what's given some new name as ESSN. So here also just check out department number. It is primary key value or name is D number. Whereas while showing the relationship we have taken DNUM shortening. Okay. So it is valid. Okay. Okay. It is valid. And how we can choose these different names? What happens if we retain the same name? No issues. We can go for the same name. All these things we'll discuss later in other examples or other concepts. Okay. Now you timing. Understand how the relation is shown. So employee is working on a project for certain number of hours. So they have taken works on. So here ESSN employee information, that is SSN primary key from employee relation, and employee is working on a particular project. So project number also has to be referred, right? So PNO, that is project number. It is a primary key from which project, from which relation, project relation. So they have taken employee primary key SSN and project primary key P number. Both primary keys they have taken here. Are you all understanding? Then, so each employee is working how many, spending or working on for how many hours. So that hours new attribute is added. Did you all understand? So like this we are representing which one, relational database schema. Then dependent. So I had already told that all the employees who are working in a company, they will be having certain dependents like their father, mother, their children, wife, like this, right? So or husband, something like that. Now just check here, employee and dependent both are having relationship, and we also understood that dependent doesn't have any key attribute, primary key. It is a weak entity, right? Yes, it is recognized only with the help of a strong entity, and which is that strong entity? Through employee. So just check here, ESSN, when we are telling a person is a father of which one, of whom, which person, that which person is what, the employee SSN. So here in this dependent relation we are adding ESSN or employee SSN primary key. From the employee relation we have taken SSN primary key. Then dependent name. So what is the dependent name? That employee's father's name or any person's, what is the name of them, and the sex, birth date and relationship. So these are the information found in dependent. So we have included ESSN in the dependent, so that to show the relation that dependent is a dependent of which employee from employee relation. Okay, so there is a difference between the schema diagram of the schema diagram as well as relational database schema. Okay, So in this particular diagram, we highlighted the relationship between the any two relations by including the primary key of other relations. So here, which two relations are having the relationship? So we are highlighting their relationship by including one of the relations primary key in other relation. Are you all understanding? So if I consider employee and department, employee is relation 1, department is relation 2, then DNO is a primary key of relation 2. Did you all understand? Whereas the SSN is a primary key of relation 1. Is that clear? And when department number, the primary key of relation 2 is found in any other relation. See here, in the department number is a primary key, and this primary key information is shown in other relation, that is employee relation. Means here in this relation R1, department number is considered as which type of key? Foreign key. What is it? Foreign key. So from now onwards we will be using, or we will be understanding what is the meaning of foreign key also. Okay. So here SSN is a primary key of employee, D number is a primary key of department, and D number is a primary key of department relation. See here, D number is a primary key of department, but it is existing in department location. So this department number in department location, here this becomes foreign key. Okay. And project, P number is a primary key of project, whereas it is also including D number. D department number, it is a primary key of which relation? Department relation. So D number, as it is a primary key of department relation, here in the project department number is acting as a foreign key. Okay. Similarly, works on, here ESSN. So ESSN is a primary key of which one? Employee. SSN, right? So ESSN is a primary key of employee, but it is taken in works on project. So here ESSN acts as a foreign key. And P number also, project number is a primary key of project relation, but P number, project number is shown or added in works on relation. So this P number also is a foreign key here. Okay, then ours is not a key attribute. It is not a type of key attribute here. Dependent, here ESSN is a primary key of employee relation. So ESSN acts as a foreign key. Okay, did you all understand? Whereas as dependent is a weak entity, it is identified by a strong entity. See here, the combination of ESSN and dependent name. The combination of ESSN and dependent name can be considered as a key attribute, composite key attribute here. Did you all understand? So what do you mean by composite key attribute, students? Just now recall, in the earlier session I had told, in the composite key attribute, the combination of attributes what we take, there you are not finding any primary key. Yes. So here ESSN is not a primary key here. We took the combination of ESSN and dependent name. ESSN acts as a foreign key, not a primary key here, right? So ESSN comma dependent name, both are not a primary key value. The dependent name is just an attribute in dependent. So this kind of combination we call it as what? Composite key attribute. Is that fine? So this is how the discussion goes with the which one? Relational database schema. A database state that does not obey all the integrity constraints is called an invalid state. So whichever the state, for example, an employee has to work in a particular department. So in a employee row, you are filling a employee detail, but in the department number column, if you are leaving it empty, if you are not adding that a particular employee is working in which department number, if you have left empty, null, then we can say that the database state is not obeying the integrity constraint. So it is in an invalid state. There is a rule that employee has to work in one of the department. So that department number cell has to be given with in which department that employee is working. And a state that satisfies all the constraints in the defined set of integrity constraints IC is called a valid state. So at any moment, for example, employee 101 is working in a which department? A1 department. If you are giving the information like this, and A1 department number A1, if A1 is existing, that also matters. So if you simply give something like XYZ, if XYZ department number doesn't exist, it is an invalid state, right? So employee 101 works in department A1. A1 is a valid department number. E101 is a valid employee ID. So there exists such employee. It means the the database is satisfying all the constraints in the defined set of integrity constraints, and we call it as that it is in a valid state. Okay. So in the just now discussed diagram, this one, okay, here in figure 3.5, department number attribute in both department and department locations stands for the same real world concept, the number given to a department. So I just now told you all, right. So in the department we are having which one? D number. And in department location, if you are using D number, just check here. In the department we had D number. In the department location also D number. So both stands the same. The D number attribute in both department and department location stands for the same real world concept, the number given to a department. So in the real world, what number is given to the department, it highlights the same. Okay. That same concept is called DNO in employee and DNUM in project. So I just now told you all, like you can go for the same name, D number only, the same name you can go, or you can choose some other simple name also. That primary key or D number, when it is acting as a foreign key in another relation, there you can give another name, DNO. It is also valid. And here in project we use DNUM. It is also valid. So attributes that represent the same real world concept may or may not have identical names in different relations. So just check here students, D number in department location, what name in the real world it had? It had the same real world name in the department location. This is okay, this is correct. They are telling the real world name, in the real world, whatever the name D number is found in the department, the same name may not be taken in other relation like in project. They may have given some other name, DNUM, but still it is a valid state. Are you all understanding? So the same name can be taken for in when it is added in the other relation, or the new name also can be given. Did you all understand? So in the employee, what is the new name they have taken? DNO, but in the real world, DNO is what the same as D number. Okay. Then, alternatively, attributes that represent different concepts may have the same name in different relations. For example, we could have used the attributes name for both P name for project and D name of department. In this case, we would have two attributes that share the same name but represent different real world concepts, project names and department names. It means very simple. Just check out here students. In the department, we have given D name. In the project, we have taken P name, right? Instead of giving D name, P name, here also simply instead of D name, simply name we would have given. In the project also, we would have given simply name. So name, both are same attribute names which we have considered, but the same name, they are existing in different relation. In the department also we are having name. In the project relation also we are having name. So name still remains unique because it is referencing a particular relation there. Name refers department here, whereas name refers project here. Are you all understanding? So the names may be same in either of the relation. For example, I'm Divyashri and there is a person, some other person existing with the same name, Divyashri, but still valid because I have my own address and that person is also having their own address, her own address. Are you all understanding? So how we are unique? Even though the names are same, I am unique with my address and they are unique with their address. Are you all understanding? Like that. So instead of giving D name, we can take name here, and that name refers the department name here. And instead of taking P name, we can take name here for project, which refers the name of the project here. Is that clear? So name doesn't clash even though they repeat in other relations also. The same common name, attribute name, if it is found same in other relations, it doesn't clash. Okay. Well, students, I have tried my best in today's session to make you all understand with the integrity constraints. I hope you all have followed, and we have much discussions in our next sessions with the integrity constraints. Let us meet you all in the next session. Thank you.